Okay, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the strangest, most unsettling moments of this war. And this time, it's not about strategy or misdirection. It's about hitting yourself, literally. Russian systems, Russian missiles, Russian cities, and yes, we have footage that shows it. It's early morning, 4:12 along the coast of Krasnodar. The city is quiet, deceptively calm. But this isn't just any town. It's one of Russia's most critical points on the Black Sea, a hub for oil, naval operations, and air defense. And that morning, everything changes. Ukrainian drones are approaching silently, slicing through a thick, creeping fog that blankets the city. Radar operators are glued to their screens, fingers tense over controls, eyes straining to detect movement. But visibility is almost zero. They can track signals, but they can't see clearly. And that is exactly when the disaster begins. At 4:16 a.m., the air defense systems activate. Missiles streak into the fog, one after another. Operators fire at anything that looks like a target. Commands shout through radios, "Launch! Launch! Now!" But they are firing blind. And then it happens. The missiles, meant to defend the city, strike it instead. Apartment buildings, families asleep in their homes, structures never meant to be military targets. The footage spreads quickly online. Smoke, explosions, devastation, Russian missiles, Russian civilians, Russian homes. Officials release limited details, a few injured, some damaged homes, but sources confirm what the footage shows: Russian air defenses are hitting civilian areas. And this isn't a one-time mistake. Dozens of times over this war, Russian forces have struck their own territory, sometimes by malfunction, sometimes by panic, sometimes by breakdowns in command. That night, Ukraine's operation is precise. They target oil terminals, naval bases, and air defense positions, disrupting the very systems meant to protect the city. Russian defenses respond, but in the chaos, their own citizens pay the price. The psychological impact is enormous. Ordinary people can no longer trust that their government will protect them from the enemy or from its own military. The reality is stark. Russia cannot reliably defend its own cities. Drones are getting faster, smarter, harder to intercept. Air defense systems, like the Pantsir, fail catastrophically, sometimes turning on the cities they were meant to shield. Every night, Russian operators face an impossible choice: fire blindly or risk letting the attack through. And every night, the odds of another friendly fire disaster increase. Think about it. For families in Krasnodar, the city is no longer just under threat from Ukraine, it's under threat from its own defenses. And for Ukrainian planners, this is a strategic advantage. They're systematically degrading Russia's ability to defend itself, striking the infrastructure that funds the war, while the failures of Russian systems amplify the psychological toll on civilians. This is what happens when a military is overstretched, undertrained, and overwhelmed. It's not just a tactical problem, it's a structural one. Russia's air defenses have become a threat to Russia itself. The drones will keep coming, the missiles will keep flying, and every night, Russian civilians are left to wonder, will tonight be the night my own city is hit not by the enemy, but by my own military? And that is the reality on the ground. This is not theory, this is not exaggeration, this is what happened that night, and it will almost certainly happen again. And here's the part that really drives it home. The night's chaos isn't just an isolated failure, it's a preview of what's coming. Russian cities are becoming test sites for the flaws in their own defense systems. Every drone strike, every missile, every foggy, chaotic engagement is exposing weaknesses that Ukraine is methodically exploiting. Imagine the families in Novorossiysk, Krasnodar, or other coastal towns. They hear the alarms. They feel the shudders of explosions, and they don't know if the next impact will come from an enemy drone or their own air defense systems. Trust in the military erodes with each accidental strike. When your own defenses are a threat, who do you turn to? Who do you believe? Meanwhile, Ukrainian planners are watching and learning. Every footage clip circulating on social media, every system malfunction captured in real time is intelligence. They're not just striking randomly, they're mapping the weaknesses of Russia's air defense grid, predicting how operators will panic, and choosing targets that maximize strategic and psychological impact. And the scale is growing. Every week, the number of drones, their sophistication, their ability to evade Russian radar increases. Russian air defense systems, designed to counter low-flying threats, are being pushed beyond their limits. They fail to intercept, they misfire, and they hit their own people. The paradox is brutal. The more they try to protect their cities, the greater the risk of harming them. What happens next is almost inevitable. More cities, more nights, more friendly fire incidents. Each failed interception chips away at confidence in the system and in the state itself. Russia's inability to secure its own territory is no longer just a military embarrassment, it's a strategic vulnerability. It weakens supply chains, endangers civilians, and erodes the credibility of the Kremlin's narrative. For ordinary citizens, life becomes a calculation. Where to sleep, when to leave home, which areas are safest. For Ukrainian forces, it's a stark lesson in psychological and tactical warfare. The enemy's own mistakes become your weapon. And for the global observer, it's a chilling reminder. A military's strength isn't just measured by its firepower, but by its ability to protect its own people under pressure. Tonight, somewhere in the Black Sea coast, the cycle will repeat. Alarms will sound, operators will panic, and missiles will arc through the fog, sometimes toward drones, sometimes toward the very cities they are meant to defend. The war continues, relentless and unpredictable, and one truth stands out. Russia is increasingly at risk from its own defenses, and Ukraine is exploiting it with precision. And this is where the story truly ends, at least for now. Not with a single explosion, not with one failed interception, but with a reality Russia can no longer hide. The danger is no longer only outside its borders. It's inside, built into its own systems, triggered by its own decisions. When a country's air defenses become unpredictable, when the line between protection and destruction disappears, the damage goes far beyond broken buildings. It fractures trust. It plants fear where confidence used to be. And once that fear takes root, no amount of official statements can erase it. Ukraine understands this. Every drone launched, every strike carefully chosen, forces Russia into the same dilemma again and again. Fire blindly and risk killing your own people, or hold back and let the attack land. There is no good option left, only less bad ones. And over time, even those disappear. This is no longer just a war of missiles and drones. It's a war of endurance, of systems under pressure, of mistakes that can't be undone. And each night, as alarms echo across Russian cities, the question becomes more haunting than the last: who is really in control? Because when your own defenses turn against you, the battlefield is no longer far away. It's right outside your window. We'll continue to watch this closely. Good night.